3, 2, 1, cut it.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming out on this beautiful morning to celebrate this project. I'm Drew Ressler, the Director of Cobb County Department of Transportation, and I'm pleased to welcome you to the ribbon cutting for the Kennesaw Mountain Pedestrian Improvements Project. The Kennesaw Mountain National Battlefield Park was just hearing some great stats on the park. I'm sure we'll hear a little bit more of that in a moment, but it represents 3,000 acres of some of the county's most significant historic, cultural, and natural resources. The project we are celebrating today took almost 7 years to the day to complete and is a model of partnership between numerous local, state, and federal agencies. The project provides trail connections to several parts of the park previously unavailable for pedestrian access. Many areas of the park could only be accessed via vehicular to parking lots that fill up quickly on beautiful days like today, even for residents that live very close to this incredible amenity. The project includes 3 trail segments along Whitlock Avenue, Cheatham Hill Road, and Burnt Hickory Road, totaling approximately 3.85 miles, of which approximately 1.7 miles is within the National Battlefield Park. So with that, I am pleased to welcome our first speaker, a strong advocate for connecting and serving the residents of Cobb County, Chairwoman Lisa Cupid.
Thank you, Drew, and good morning to everyone who is here. I'm glad to be here as we celebrate this new amenity here in Cobb County, which reflects continued investment in our infrastructure, into natural amenities, in mobility, and into recreation. Kennesaw Mountain attracts about 2 million visitors every year, and we're not only a highly visited asset in Georgia, but what I understand nationally, with being one of the top visited parks here across the country. And that not only signifies the significance of the asset that we have here for our community when it comes to recreation and when it comes to the history that's here, but there also was associated economic benefit with the park being here, as the National Park Service recognizes about $117 million a year are connected to visitors that are coming to Kennesaw Mountain. So when we make investments in here, there is actually significant return, not only in the lives and the livelihood here, but in the economic purse here within our city and county. And speaking of cities, when you have significant projects like this, it takes partnership. I think individually, each of us can do a lot of good, but it takes a team to do some great things. And we've done a great thing with this project. In fact, it warms my heart whenever I'm driving and I see citizens and families that are already using the trails, because we've had this significant asset here, but it hasn't always been accessible to everyone. And investments like this help to make our mountain accessible to all, and for that I'm appreciative. I most certainly need to thank our citizens, as I'm thanking our partners that are here with us today. Our citizens continue to help us make investments in Cobb County through investing in our SPLOST program, and those dollars help to make this project possible. So I want to thank you for the continued support of that program that helps keep the county going in so many ways. And I'm hoping that we will have continued investment in our county and in this area of the county for many years to come, and for many generations to enjoy for those years to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here today at such a wonderful, amazing place. What I like to say about this incredible national park site is, sure, New York City's got Central Park, but Cobb County and the city of Marietta, we've got an 8-mile-long green space here, which is a national park site, which preserves a lot of our history's heritage, the battles that have happened here for us to be a country. And it is more than those things as well. It is a place where a lot of people come here to contemplate about nature, about our history, and to just find peace in nature. I mean, look around you. What a beautiful place it is on such a beautiful day. And as you mentioned, we get 2 million visitors here every year, and we think that's going to be growing. And we want this to always be a place that you can come to. So to think about our future, you have to think about far future. And I want to say thank you to everybody here who actually was a part of this in the past. to actually have a great multi-use trail that can get our community here into the park, you have to think ahead. And I know a lot of people here were doing that. And I want to say our former superintendent, Nancy, and where is Anthony? There he is. Those two right there from the Park Service side did a lot of work to help with everybody else to get this to actually start happening. And that was really fantastic. They really had the forethought to see this park would grow, but we were not including our nearest neighbors. Everybody had to drive here, even if you lived right next to the park. So for me, I only came here about 3 years ago, and it's been a fantastic journey with everybody. But I gotta say, myself and with the Park Service, our former facilities maintenance chief, Carlos Hurston, him and I got to work with James Hudgens, Cobb County DOT, and all our contractor friends, because in a national park we have a lot of different users, and I try to think, if I put myself in the shoes of a contractor, what are the things you usually deal with? And I would come to them and I'd say, hey, we got this issue about horses crossing the road, and they would listen to me and they would deal with that. We've got joggers over here, we got hikers over here, we got people with strollers, and so there's all these different user groups here, and I gotta say, a lot of love and thought and attention went into making this trail, and I'm just so proud of all the work. And I gotta say, today is just a day of winning for everybody, because the moment that was done, even before it was done, people were using this trail, and it just shows that the folks that were thinking about this to begin with had the right idea. Nancy, you really had a right idea on this. And so here we are, and we've got this great trail, but what does it mean for the future here? I think it means two big things here. One, it's going to give a lot more opportunities for outdoor recreation, and that's just fantastic. But the other thing here is, this park has been a part of this community since 1935. And I feel this is finally the day that we've really reached out and made better connections with our communities. Because now they don't have to drive here. They can actually come up that path. They can take their bike up there. They can walk. They can take the kids in the strollers. And it just means more folks can enjoy this place. And it's such a special place to do that. But I ask you, what is next? What are we going to do now? Well, we're not done with all of our work. I know that we have some stuff to do, and you guys may not be aware of this, but there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff for other bigger projects. So I just want to say it has been an honor and a joy working with everybody on this project, but I know our work isn't done, and I look forward to working with you all in the future on our next projects that are going to help this community. So thank you very much.
Lisa, Mr. Superintendent, just thank you for this opportunity to be here today. This is amazing. My dad moved here in 1934 to start a business, and superintendent in 1935. And during the 70s and 80s, there were a lot of people, these 3,000 acres were bought from their families, and they wanted it back when the prices got real high out here. But my dad talked about most of the acreage out here went in 1935 for $8 to $10 an acre. So it was, I asked my dad, was that a bad deal? He said, no, that's all it was worth in 1935. But, we're thankful to the second President Roosevelt. His uncle or his cousin, built the West Coast, those big parks. But Roosevelt saw the vision. It's not only a park that recognizes the recreation, the spirit of this community, but also there were a lot of people from Ohio and other places during the war that did not go home. So it's a very sacred ground for a lot of people, and to use it with this trail to tie it in together to my community, to have a collaboration with the Cobb County, the city, and the parks. The means were a beautiful thing to watch, but I think this result will be for us forever. In fact, when you look at the trail, it looks like it was there forever. When you ride down, the natural woods, we had some complaints. I was told it would never be used. It was used while they were pouring the concrete. So it was, this thing has just been amazing, but and they cleaned up all the fallen trees that were in there. So this whole area has been enhanced, and it was already the best park in the country. So I think it is even better today. But thank you to everybody. The design is just perfect, the construction, and just the patience of all the entities that came together to do it. But thank you for this joy, this everlasting joy that will stay with us in this this great improvement, this great trail. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.
Oh, I think it's great. You can do a lot of different loops now, so I come out here and run and hike a lot. So super excited to see the sidewalk that'll go up to Whitlock, and it allows me to do a lot of different loops and different access points, and I think it's great for the communities that are along Burnt Hickory. They can access it now without driving over here.
1, cut it.
Yay! We better work at that
That's fantastic. We did it.
Thank you.
Congratulations.